G'day, welcome back to class. Now, this is going to be the last video in this series, and basically I'm going to reveal my secret to a successful party, basically how I handle those customers that are hard to deal with, those parties where people just won't dance. Okay, this is the big secret. You want to stick around for this. But first I have to just review the last video. I'll really have to explain what I mean by ego. You know, as a DJ, you have to be confident, right? To be a DJ, and confidence is a whole other video, but basically most of you know what I mean. You have to be confident when you're a DJ. Now the problem is when you get too confident and you stop thinking about everybody else in the room and only thinking about yourself. That's ego. Okay, do you follow me? You have to think about every other person in the room, not just yourself. When you start thinking about yourself too much, you've got a big ego. You can't just rock up to a party and just play what you want because it's a grouse song. You know it kicks ass, but they don't give a shit, okay? That's ego. When you stop thinking about others and think about yourself only, that's ego. That's the difference between confidence and ego. It's a fine line, but like I say, it's a whole other video. Now, the big secret revealed. First, I'm going to have to ask all the press and media to leave the room. DJs only, thank you very much. Now, the big secret. Let me tell you what it is. There isn't one. There's no secret. I've already told you what to do. Okay, this is what I do. So you rock up to a party way ahead of schedule. Instead of, if it takes you an hour to set up, get there an hour and a half before. So that gives you half an hour opportunity to mingle with the crowd, get to know the crowd. And when I say mingle, I mean introduce yourself to everyone. That includes the bar staff, the manager of the venue, everyone. Okay, so you're mingling. You're talking about the music with the guests, so you know exactly what you have to do before you even start. Most of you should know that before you even get to a venue, if you book your own parties. But basically, get there half an hour early, get to know them, mingle with the crowd and all the staff. Now, once the party's pumping, or let's just say you get this list, you don't agree with it, and you've made your suggestions, and they say, look, I know these people, they'll dance, play this list. Now, this list, let me tell you, I ask every client to give me a list, because they know the crowd better than I do, and 90% of the time, the list works perfectly, right? So I'm not against the list, I always ask for a list. Like I say, 90% of the time, it works great. It's only that 10% of the time where it doesn't work so well. So, okay, what's happening here? You're 2 hours into the party, no one's dancing, you're playing every song off this list, nothing's happening. What do? You communicate. You'll go up to the person having the party and say, look, are you happy with the way things are going? Okay, again, you don't tell, ask. Are you happy with the way the party's going? You happy with the music? You realise no one's been dancing yet. And they might just say, that's okay, look, we're having a great time, we're enjoying the music, we'll probably dance later, just keep going. Alright, party goes on a bit longer, you've been there for 4 hours, no one's dancing. So you'll go up to her again and say, look, nothing's happening here, they're really not dancing, and I'm starting to get requests for the cha-cha slide. And they might say, oh, look, okay, we'll let you get away with it, play the slide and see what happens, alright? So, that's what I'm trying to get the message through. That's what I do, I communicate. And I try to do it every half an hour. I will go up and say things like, you know, how's the volume? Is the volume okay? It's not too loud, you happy? Those sort of things. Not just about the music, but just communicate. So they know that you know what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? And if the party's not happening, don't just stand behind the console, and I've seen it on YouTube, don't just stand behind the console with this sour look on your face thinking to yourself, what a shit party. Well, it's a shit party because it's your fault, right? So you have to be proactive by communicating with your clients. Communicate. Stand behind that console with a smile on your face. Even though you hate this party more than anything in the world, it's the worst party you've been to, doesn't matter. You smile. Make them think you're happy. People want to be around happy people. People don't want to be around a DJ that's frowning in the corner, right? So that is the secret. Get them to like you, communicate. It just sounds so simple. You probably already do it anyway, but you could probably do it just a little bit better. Just make a little bit more of an effort to communicate with your clients rather than putting so much effort into, you know, what equipment do I need, what looks good, what doesn't look good. Like I said, in the end, it really doesn't matter to most people. Yeah, some people it matters, but not to most. So, that is what I do to get a response, like I told you at the start of these videos. And it really happens. I've had parties where not one person's danced and they'll say, John, I'm sorry that nobody danced for you. You've gone to all this trouble and I'm sorry my guests didn't dance for you. It actually happens if you communicate and make friends with them. Other parties I've been to and done this communicating thing, you know, by the second or third time I've gone up to them and said, look, no one's dancing. I get things like, I had a school function earlier at the start of the year. I said, look, no one's dancing, what's going on? And they basically said, look, one of the students died in a car accident 2 weeks ago, so people are still getting over the death of one of their students, so they won't dance. Well, then you know, okay, fair enough, you know, don't push them. But if you hadn't have approached, if you hadn't have communicated that, you'd never know, and you'd be standing there like an idiot trying to encourage him to dance when they're not going to dance because one of their mates just died. Right? So communicate with your clients. Now, I'd love some other suggestions. I'm not saying I know everything about DJing, that's just how I do it. So I'd love some other suggestions from other people that have been doing it for longer than me and more than me. Even some of the younger guys, you know, you're always learning. Just because I've been doing it for 20 years doesn't mean I know everything. So if you've worked out a better way of handling clients, you know, that won't dance and difficult customers, hey, let the world know, you know, so we can all get better and then we can charge more, right? That's what it's all about. Money! Not really, the money's nice. We just love DJing, don't we? That's why I do it. Okay, thank you. Please leave your comments and don't be nasty. If you don't agree, you don't agree, okay? You don't have to get nasty. Let's debate. That's what it's all about. You know, let's debate and learn something. All right? Thank you. Good night. Practice and enjoy.